This week on Dear Bros, I chose a topic that I know will end with a fight between Andy and me.
Yes.
Stay tuned.
Yes. Need one.
You're listening to Bro Down Podcast all fucking day. Oh, yeah.
Hey, everybody, welcome back to the Bro Down Podcast. I'm Andy Smith.
And I have a giant rash on my face.
He does. It's not poison ivy. Do not take his word for it. Before we start, click the like and subscribe button. Really helps us out.
Look
This
at you
is
being all
this
proactive.
is Dear Bros. Dear Bros, we rip an advice column, and we talk about it for a little while and pretend that people wrote into us.
Yeah.
This week's is Tim. Tim, what do you have for your advice? Let's see.
Nice versus honest.
Oh, okay. So I already know. The Quaker State guy over here.
You never say anything that causes a rift anywhere. I don't care what it is.
Your pond is like glass.
That's
No
right, buddy.
ripples.
That's right, buddy.
None.
All right, so the actual title of this one is, don't read it.
Oh.
It's called Man Forced to Mend Fences After Criticism. Man forced to mend fences after criticism.
What's wrong with unmended fences? Sometimes things got to get through them.
Dear Abby, my 33-year-old son, Brett, and his wife bought a new house and had their fence painted. Brett was proud of it. He texted a picture of the fence to my husband, his dad, and asked what he thought of it. My husband hated the color and told him it was terrible. The blunt honesty didn't go over well with Brett, who told his dad, there's a friggin' microphone in my way. Couldn't you have said to me, if you like it, that's all that matters. If you're happy, I'm happy. But my husband kept pushing that he hated it, and the color he had chosen was a terrible mistake. Well, Brett hung up on him. I forced my husband to call back and say what our son wanted to hear and smooth things over. He did it reluctantly, but still thinks he was right and that Brett acted like a baby. He insists he was just being honest. What do you think? Is honesty always the best policy? Hurt feelings.
Okay. Okay. All right. You want me to go first?
You go right ahead, buddy.
I honestly, I think this is one of those examples where both people are being too extreme.
We might be more on par on this than I was anticipating.
Yeah.
But keep going.
I think that the dad, while I totally get that mindset of just saying things, there is a bit of like you don't have to. Not every occasion requires you to give your full and utmost honest opinion.
Yeah.
To that level. Like, it's his house. It's not like he painted his dad's fence.
Yeah.
So if he said, hey, what do you think of this fence? He could have just given like an emoji thumbs up or whatever.
And to be fair, Brett wasn't asking him to lie. He kind of was.
What did he exactly say?
If you like it, that's all that matters. If you're happy, I'm happy.
No, in the beginning. Brett was proud of it. Texted a picture of the fence to my husband, his dad, asked what he thought of it. Okay. Well, here's the thing.
him.
If it's your dad, right? I'm assuming
You got to know your dad.
Yeah, so I'm assuming this isn't the first time. So I'm just going to go full pretend I know everything about this family.
Go for
It
it.
sounds like he's looking for acceptance and approval
He wants daddy's
from
approval.
his dad. And he painted a fence. He's like, this will get him to at least be like, that boy. His dad was like, that's an ugly fucking color. Why'd you pick that? It's so stupid. You just lowered the value of your house, you dumb shit. And he was like, huh. But like, you're almost expecting that to a certain extent, right?
Yeah.
So
At the very least, you would think you're 33. You know how your parents are at that point. You spent 33 years of your life interacting with
Yes.
them. You should at least expect that your father is going to be blunt
Yeah.
either way.
And you
So
also
you should
asked-
prepare yourself a little bit for the, no, that's garbage.
yeah.
Response.
You also asked him what he thought of it.
Yeah.
It's not like he walked over to the house and unprovoked was like, Jesus Christ, what did you do to get your money back, whoever did this shit job. So I did it. He's like, that figures. You fucking disappointment.
Your cousin did that to me the other day.
What's that?
So, as a joke, for the viewers who aren't out there, my sister-in-law does this cool little technique to make laminate countertops look like granite countertops. It's super cheap, and it's not one for one. Like, I'd prefer granite over the style, but it looks super, super cool, and it's like $20 to do the whole countertops. So I had started doing a spot, and I did it very poorly. And I sent her a picture of it, and I was like, look what my sister-in-law did. And she's like, get her back now. That looks like graffiti from Patterson. And then I sent her a picture of what she actually did. She's like, oh, no, that's granite. That's good.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So she didn't hold back with the bluntness either.
Yeah, but that's what if you're asking someone who you know is blunt's opinion, expect a blunt opinion.
Yes.
That is, see, now I'm kind of siding more, now that I'm saying it out loud, I still think that both are kind of overboard, but it's almost like the son set himself up for failure.
Yeah.
Right? Like you know that you're asking a blunt person a question that he's probably not going to, maybe you thought he was going to like the fence, but there is the chance that he's not going to like it, and he's going to tell you that. So if you just wanted to get complimented on the fence, ask your mom.
Because moms will always back you up.
Some moms.
Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, so I don't, and I think like bluntly, honestly, she forced her husband to call him back and smooth things over. He reluctantly did, but still thinks he was right. Yeah, I mean, to a certain extent, he is right. He was asked his opinion. He gave his opinion. Now, whether that's, like the roughest opinion of all time, I mean, whatever. But yeah, I mean, I guess if you're being a douche, like you gotta like not be you don't have to not be a douche, but this is a weird one.
You're right, though, because there's different ways to be correct about things, you know?
There's levels.
Look, there's levels. You could have said that's not my favorite color.
So
You don't have to go with it's terrible and it's a mistake. You could just say it's not my favorite color.
So this is an interesting. This brings up an interesting point, right? Because there's, like you said, there's levels of correctness.
There is.
Now, every time like arguments come up, like everyone says it's not about who's right or who's wrong, but a lot of times it's the easiest way to describe basically like what's going on in the argument. Like you were in the wrong, you were more in the right, blah 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 blah.
Yeah.
So in terms of just like right, wrong, what's correct, what's not correct, like quote unquote, like in a court of law, like what's on paper. I think the dad is more in the right.
Yeah. If we were like to sit in front of a jury.
Yes. Because like you asked me my opinion and I gave it to him. He's like, yeah, but I didn't like it.
Yeah.
I didn't like his opinion. It's like, doesn't matter. It's his opinion.
Yeah. Opinions are opinions for a reason.
But then there's that weird thing where it's like, it's almost like you have to put on a certain level of padding in social conversations to like soften the blow, especially if the person is sensitive and it goes off the rails after a while, because like the more that gets escalated, it ends up being like your opinion's not even in there because it's just compliments or it's just repeating what you think that the other person wants to hear.
Yeah. At what point does politeness become you have to lie?
Yeah. Like, there's always that thing where people are saying like, when people ask somebody else, like if somebody interjects their opinion on something, especially if it's a serious matter, without being asked to somebody they don't really know, it's like, that's none of your business. But if somebody's asking somebody that they know for advice and they give it to them, and then the person reacts like, well, it's none of your business. It's like, well, you interjected them into your business and you asked them their opinion.
It became their business.
Yeah, for their opinion. You can't get mad at whatever they say.
Yeah.
Because you opened that door. You basically said, I want you to do this. And a lot of times, I guess when people do that, they're not looking for your opinion. They're looking for you to tell them what they want to hear.
Yep.
And that's what this sounded like.
That's what that guy was doing.
He thought that the dad was going to be like, great job, son. Like, I'm going to post that on the fucking fridge. And it was the complete opposite. It's like, go back and do it again. So in that sense, it gets into a weird area. And like, I kind of tend to lean more towards like the honesty, but like don't be like brutally honest all the time with everyone for no reason. You have to pick what you're doing. If someone's like, I think I'm going to buy a house I can't afford, you're like, you shouldn't do that. There's no room here for pussyfooting. Like, you can't do that. If you ask my opinion, I painted my fence, neon yellow. It's like, I guess you like neon yellow. Looks fine to you.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know. He's not, like, in this sense, the more we talk about it, he's not wrong.
He's not wrong, but you're right. There are different ways to handle it.
Yeah.
Like,
he's wrong without being wrong.
He's wrong without being wrong, especially because it's his kid. You can be like that, oh, that's not my favorite color. Do you need help?
Yeah,
like throw something in there that's like a little bit more kind-hearted than that's terrible. That's terrible.
Yeah. But yeah. I don't. Some
and then
people
he followed it up with he hated it, and the color was a terrible mistake. Like then he doubled down on the.
Yeah, it's what here. See,
then it became a you versus me thing.
Yeah, he started off correct and he fucked up because he just kept going with it.
Yeah.
If it was like, what do you think about it? And he just said, I don't like it. I'm not a fan.
Yeah.
And he stopped there. But if the son was like, what do you mean? And he was like, I don't like it. And he's like, but it's so good. He's like, I hate it. Like I would have loved to have heard that conversation.
Yeah. It's funny because now that I'm thinking about it, everyone knows people that they'll do something in their house, like in or outside their house, and in your head you're just like, why would you do that?
Yeah.
Why?
And here's the thing.
It's not my place.
There is that. We all project our reality to a certain extent onto other people's reality. So if someone wants to paint their kitchen like the way that your kitchen used to be painted, yellow and brown, like, who are we to say that shouldn't be that? If they like those colors, they like those colors. Some people like soccer. I don't. Okay? Like, I don't have to.
Yeah.
I don't have to like soccer. Other people do. That's fine. But people have that weird tendency to, like, assume because they don't like it that the other person should. And I don't think it's a conscious thing. I just think it's a knee-jerk.
Yeah,
like you shouldn't like that either because I think it's gross. So change your kitchen and your life, kind of thing. But if you are like, say, like a hippy dippy person, and you're asking like a hardcore metalhead like what they think of your new fucking chakra room or whatever with all these incense burners and everything, and they're like needs more Slayer posters. Like you got to know that you're gonna get
that response.
If they're an honest type of person.
Yeah.
So all in all, what do you say? Like, let's just get real. If we had to judge it on a percentage scale, what percentage is the dad right to wrong versus the son in the reactions and in the initial statements and in the reactions?
Oh man. It doesn't have to add up to 100. Can I be like the dad's 55% and the son's 55%?
That's kind of a cheap way out. Sounds non-confrontational. I don't like it.
I'm sorry.
I hate it.
You're right. No, I think the dad is probably like a solid like 60% wrong, because I do think it was unnecessarily aggressive and unhelpful. I don't think it helps in any sort of way. I think the son is probably a solid like 75% wrong. 50% wrong because he should have expected a true honest opinion because he should know his father. I'm tacking on another 25% because he acted like a baby about it afterwards.
Yeah, see, I agree. I think that in the initial onset of comments,
yes,
that the dad was like only like 33% wrong. But what he should have realized after the son was doing that was he should have realized like he wasn't really asking your opinion. It's your son. And he's just looking for you to be like, whatever, and be like, hey, you know what? If you like it, that's all that matters.
He really just wanted to show off his fence.
Yeah. But he's like, if the son was like, but I want you to say you like it too. He's like, well, I cannot do that.
Yeah.
I cannot do that. My honor will not allow it. But the dad should have backed off with that a little bit. Not that he had to, but I think that he probably should have.
Yeah,
Because he said what he said. He got it out. Now back off a little bit.
I agree.
So was she even at?
She
Is
says-
honesty okay? So let's put it this way: is honesty always the best policy?
I don't think so.
I don't think it's always the best policy either.
Yeah.
Otherwise, everyone would be in jail.
Let's see. Real quick before we get to Abby's thing. This one time I have a similar story. It was Christmas. Someone got a gift for Poppy. Rest in peace, Poppy. They got him a book with big letters. He was having problem with his eyesight, and it was a big letter book. And he looks at this, and he was just like, this is a terrible gift. He was insulted. He was mad.
Oh, just pretending that his eyes aren't terrible.
And they're like, what are you talking about?
Good thing he couldn't see who gave it to him.
They're like, what are you talking about? It's so you could see it and read it. And he's like, it's insulting. It's not that bad. Poppy.
Over here, Poppy. Over here.
Poppy, you're yelling at the stove.
That's the dog.
All right. Dear Hurt, honesty isn't the best policy when it is used to bludgeon someone, in which case it becomes just plain cruel. Your husband's behavior was out of line. Diplomacy seems to be a skill he hasn't mastered. Well, that was short.
Yeah, I agree with like the foundation of what she's saying, but at the same time, it's not the dad's job to pussyfoot around other people's feelings when they ask him his opinion.
No, but that is a human thing that you're supposed to. Not pussyfoot. You can't always be concerned with upsetting people, but to a degree you can be. Like,
No, yeah, that's why I say I agree with the foundation of what she's saying, but like, say everything that the kid ever does, he sends him a picture of, what do you think of this? What do you think of this? What do you think of this? And he's just like, I should have told him I hated the fence. Then I wouldn't have to look at all these shitty finger paintings.
fair.
Yeah.
Fair. All right, any last comments before we get out?
No.
All right, guys, let us know in the comment section down below what you think about this story. What would you do if you were the father? How would you respond to the son? Is honesty always the best policy? Should you get shirts from brodownpro.com? The answer to that one is yes. What do you think of our shirts? Please say you like them.
I actually have one on today. I'm not wearing a white V-neck.
I'm very proud of you.
They're literally almost falling off me at this point.
You need new clothes.
That's it.
And he can get them by going to brodownpro.com.
Only if you go to brodownpro.com.
That's how we afford our own clothes. We'll catch you guys next time.
You're listening to Bro Down Podcast all